Okay, I'm just. I'm gonna acknowledge it. Somebody knocked on the door while I was talking there, but I remember my train of thought. Sorry, everybody. But I was talking about how people have a platform now to be heard worldwide.
Right. Hey, what's happening?
Globe-wide, I should say, because it is a globe.
I'm recording
I can just
you on
put
the podcast
anything out
right
in
now.
the ether now, and if there's enough people listening, it's going to catch fire. I mean,
I
like
find
I
it
was saying,
encouraging that you.
I have
picked
an
up the
avenue
phone
right now. If
in
I
the
could,
middle
I
of the
could pick up my
workday.
phone and tweet the president. I could tweet
Yeah.
anybody that has a Twitter account, and whether or not it gets heard or not, but
Yeah.
that's
everybody
somebody with,
knows when you see Gus calling.
several
you fucking
million
answer the
followers,
phone.
they might see that if that gets retweeted by somebody.
Yeah, that's right.
Now all of a sudden
right.
it's not just two people sitting in a basement talking about stupid shit. Now it's part of the global
Did
discussion.
I take that?
And I think that's why these wacky conspiracies. But I also think that's why a lot
the
of
picture I have
like
for you is like a Max Headroom
weirder
baby
conspiracy
with a
theories
gigantic
are kind
head.
of dying because nobody
awesome.
comes up with.
So I
Loch
figured
Ness
since
Monster
you couldn't
footage
come to
anymore,
do the
or Bigfoot
podcast, I'll bring the
footage,
podcast to you
or
for, like, a
Chupacabra or
couple
whatever
years.
the fuck, because everybody has a camera in their pocket now,
How was
and
cutting
it's
deer?
so much easier to fake all of that.
Right. We did 205 deer in 7 days' time.
Okay.
We stopped taking deer at Monday evening, and then it was just a relief because I could stop answering the phone.
Yeah.
Because people were constantly, "You still taking deer? No. Still taking? No." So we just stopped answering.
Oh, that's what I do. That's what I do when people call asking for money.
Yeah.
Just don't answer.
Yeah.
Why? Because fuck them. That's why.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just wanted to get you on here so I could tag you on the Facebook, and
Sure.
and then all the people who want you to be mayor of Melrose will at least listen to this part and to get my numbers up.
Unlimited
Right.
power.
Yeah. So.
We do intend to come. I'm taking off the couple days before Christmas, and we intend to come up
Ooh.
the weekend prior.
Okay.
So might be able to fashion something out of that.
I think you and we sit down and just get heroically drunk and do the podcast. I haven't done that yet. I've gotten a little buzzed on the podcast, but I haven't gotten just
Sure.
shit.
Yeah,
Hey.
I've been listening, and I've noted.
Yeah. Well, it gets
Couple of times.
a little. I don't know slurring, but you could definitely tell I get happier.
Right. A little
Yeah.
loose.
A little loose. Yeah. I mean.
That's where the truth comes out.
Right. I mean, I'm always on heroin, so that's the baseline.
Right.
Then we-
Just to get a base.
Well, yeah, just to get out of bed, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you mean by that. Dan said, "I see what you did there," and I have no idea what he means. You don't freebase heroin, no.
Well, now we all know I don't do heroin.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, we'll do that. We'll get here. We'll do shitty, and there was something else. Oh, since you and I have this movie background, I figure we could attempt to get a story arc, like a hero's journey from start to beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
Like we'll have character development. There will be conflict. There will be a resolution and a denouement.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that'll all stick as we get drunk. I'm sure we'll remember all of that.
I'll bring all of my mise en scène.
And
I don't even know what that means.
and we'll just read your Joseph Campbell,
Yeah.
and then we'll be all set.
And be hailed as geniuses.
Yes. All right. Well, I'll let you get back to the weenus.
You bet.
Are you doing weenuses still?
Estimated net use of sales.
Yeah. Okay.
that?
Are you still doing weenie?
To some degree, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a construction bend to it.
Oh, okay.
With a lot
Okay.
of,
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Nor do I
Alright.
care. All right, man. Yeah, I'll.
Nor does your listener.
Exactly. All right. So yeah, later I'll text you in a day or two, and we'll figure all that out when you're
Okay.
coming. Cool, man. Late.
Sounds good.
Bye. Oh, hey, Travis. Travis.
Yeah?
Go fuck
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh, yeah. I took that for granted.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. All right. Bye.
And that was Travis.
That's right.
Yeah, we can't actually get him here from Melrose because it's
Milwaukee. He lives in Milwaukee.
He's in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Why is he going to be mayor of Melrose?
It's a long story.
It's phase one for taking over the world. I understand.
It's a long story. The short version is he and I were really, we've always been really good friends.
Mhm.
I came to Melrose late in my life, later comparatively to everybody else. I started there in 8th grade. So unless you were born there, you're not
You're not real Melrose.
not 100%
No.
in. Well, Travis is a true blue blood Melrosian, and but he's also wildly more popular than I am everywhere at all times. So every
Naturally.
time someone sees me, because I'm in the area, he lives in Milwaukee. Anytime someone sees me, it's, hey Gus, how's it going? How's Travis?
I do recall a couple of these when we were in Black River Falls
Yeah.
a few months ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh, have you talked to Travis lately?
Yeah.
And who is this mythical Travis person?
Oh, that's him.
And
That
we've
was him.
spoken to the mythical Travis person.
Yeah,
Right.
he farts glitter and whatever.
I hear he's reprising his role in the new Trolls movie that's coming out.
I have no idea what that
Farting
means.
glitter? No.
But yeah, so that's the. I joke because every time we go anywhere,
Yeah.
and people ask me where's Travis, and it's like, Jesus Christ, he's still in fucking Milwaukee.
He's never coming back. Let
He's
it go.
yeah.
I see. I pictured when you were talking about taking over Melrose. My brain went to like the Leonidas 300 type of thing, where like the cut is the hot gates, and that's like the defensible position. And I mean, it
That would
makes
be
sense.
Mindoro, perhaps.
Melrose, Mindoro. It's the same damn thing.
Kinda. Don't tell them that though.
Right. Well, they all go to school together,
Yeah.
so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like trying to tell people not from the area that Gilsville, Ettrick, and Trempealeau are all something different. They all get high.
Yeah.
Ha.
Yeah.
So yeah, what were we? If I can't, we were going to talk about some interesting stuff today. We had some things that were
Okay. First
stewing.
of announcement.
Oh,
We
sorry.
we do have soon. Hopefully, we'll have some stickers available.
Stickers. Yes.
Did you
yeah.
get word on that?
Yeah, it's probably going to be a week or
Okay.
so probably getting closer to the holiday with them. But big shout out to mi madre. My mom works for I've always called it a sticker factory ever since I was little, just because she brought home those little square, rectangular, like glow in the dark Ninja Turtle
Oh, sure.
stickers that
Okay.
OCD was strong in me when I was a kid. I never took them off because I just couldn't commit to making them permanent anywhere.
Oh, sure.
So I just held on to them and collected things of stickers. But anyway, she works for a sticker place, and they make decals and stuff. And she offered to put them together for us. And her boss, the owner, said, upstart, new business, new podcast, be happy to provide those to you, your initial sampling at no cost. So
Yeah.
big thanks to Serigraphic Screen down in the industrial park.
So we'll have a few of those available, but we're mainly going to be just giving them out to
Yeah.
people. So
Just tagging everything.
yeah, but I have to send some to my cousins in the East Coast and my cousin in Idaho. RJ, Micah, and Kim. They're
Yeah.
all getting at least one.
Okay.
And then the other announcement is I am currently working on silk screening. So
Oh.
hopefully soon we'll have handmade silk screened T-shirts.
That's
for
exciting.
The podcast.
I can replace all of my Fest T-shirts that I just cleaned out of my closet.
Those I will not be giving away though. Those will be available at a premium. I'm
Mm.
sure probably because there will be immediately collector's
Immediately.
items.
Yeah, we'll be able to host remote podcast broadcasts in which only the first 40 people are allowed to get these T-shirts, and you should see them line up outside the
People
door.
will be lined up around the
Yes.
block.
Yeah, for the low price of like $1,200 to host our podcast. Local businesses. Good grief.
Sounds like you got that idea from somewhere else.
It just came to me one night in the dead of night. I woke up and went, "Oh my God, this would be a brilliant idea. Think of all the people that will come."
Yeah.
And then in reality, it was not. Yeah. So, announcements. We had announcements. We've done the announcements.
That was the announcements.
Okay. So motion
Oh,
to adopt
actually-
the minutes from the. I'm sorry.
Actually, there was one more. Remember?
I don't.
I'm gonna just go ahead and do it.
Do it.
We've it's a part of not part of Stratagem, but a branch of Stratagem.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going in.
All right, just do it.
I've got the paperwork, so.
Oh.
Not the licensing, but
Oh.
the actual.
I got
We
excited.
have another business venture that's starting. Addis Global Imports.
We just can't help ourselves.
Yeah, we can't help ourselves. We're just gluttons for punishment and financial loss. But no, we're forming another company alongside of our current one that we're going to be importing. To start, we're going to be importing wine from Greece, and you could take 5 guesses on who our contact in Greece is with the Greeks. In fact, we'll probably have to have him back in here to talk about that soon.
Yes, definitely.
That's old Greg.
Yeah, he'll give us like the 180-year history of the winery. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's...
sidebar. Wine comes from Greece, people. Like
Yeah, people are blown away by the fact that
right.
we're getting wine
I mean,
from Greece.
You know, it's not like they have a god based off of it or anything.
Yeah, practically the same climate as Italy, or those places in France. So it's like, and it's really good wine too.
Yeah, that's right on the coast.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. We're excited about it. Hopefully, depending. So here's the deal. We're waiting on the federal paperwork, which I think we're gonna get no problem to import alcohol. Everything else is just taxes and things like that we have to sort out. So but once that's all in place, we're hoping the next week or two we'll have that. We already have the winery lined up. We have the supplier. So I know I'm going to murder this. It's I'm not going to say who we're supplying from yet, but they're ready. The shit's sitting on a pallet probably right now, waiting for us to get cleared.
That's why we stepped into this particular realm, is because they were looking for an avenue, and we had that particular contact.
So.
But it's
so look for it soon.
Optimistically, mid-late winter, it should be out.
I'm hoping January sometime we should be getting our
okay.
first. Like I said, once we have the paperwork in hand, it's on the next boat over. So.
Aggressive goals, the only way to go.
Yeah. So there's that. That's the last. Okay. So you're going to move to adopt the minutes from last podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. Yeah,
Approved.
The motion carries. Doesn't need a vote.
Awesome.
We just make stuff up. Robert's rules are the worst thing ever created.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at Robert's rules?
I did.
It's just madness.
Yeah, we were trying to form a. I hate every time we talk. I mentioned my military time in the Navy, but
thank you for your service.
It's a big part of my life, but almost everything goes back to that. So you have associations when you're in, usually. So like in the Navy, when you make E7, you're a chief petty officer. Then you're part of the chiefs. They call it the mess, which is basically the chiefs association. The first classes, which are E6, which is one pay grade below, in most commands had a first class association. Well, when I was in Japan with my squadron, I was a second class petty officer before, and I made E6 over there, but I was a second. So we wanted to start a second class association, which is basically just so we could have, it's for looking good on your evals if you got a leadership role and those types of things, become a leader among your peers, that type of stuff. But in order to have bylaws that would get approved they'd have to get approved by the command, which meant the first class association and the chief's mess. They would look at those, and they had to make sure that we had proper rules and procedures in place for whatever. So they were just fucking with us, I think, because when I was in the first class association and the chief's mess, there was never any. Of course you do stuff that way, but they wanted to be sure we were thoroughly
general voting and all that.
Sure, we were thoroughly entrenched in those Robert's Rules of Procedure, parliamentary procedure. It's like, Jesus Christ, it was awful.
It is. It's the board that I spent a few years on. I still feel to this day that we spent just as much time arguing over what the rules and procedures were, and then Googling Robert's Rules, RONR.com in the meetings, than we did actually debating whatever it was we were supposed to be debating. Not to mention, how many conversations we have to have about where to put a fucking orange fence, for Christ's sakes.
Oh,
But
well.
that's fun. So good stuff. You had something you were interested in talking about, and I don't know if this was like a whiskey induced, like, hey, we should do this, or if you were legitimately
What's
interested
that?
in talking about random conspiracy theories.
Oh, where that came from was I was out driving listening to some podcast, and they were talking about conspiracies and putting on the tinfoil hat and stuff like that. And I thought, well, you know what? That's always good for
It's fun to talk about.
fodder.
Yeah.
But the more I got thinking about it, like I was getting really, I get kind of upset at some of them, like especially the ones that actually mean something in the grand scheme of things. Like little conspiracies, I don't really care about. Roswell, New Mexico. I mean, whatever. Whether aliens, who knows? It's stuff like that really gets my goat. Is like the flat Earth bullshit.
The ones that are just ridiculous. It's like you're just trying too hard to be ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, like say the flat Earth one. I believe that one has its roots in. I know it has its roots in. Even as far back as like the late 1700s, early 1800s, where the church was rejecting it. Not the Catholic Church, because they actually have scientists on board. But the wacky Protestants in the United States in England started rejecting the round Earth, because in the Bible it never says that we were a globe. So the conspiracy is whoever they is, a big round Earth.
I mean, never mind the English language was not a thing when the Bible was written. So I mean, was it?
No.
When was the Bible written?
I don't know.
Who knows?
But anyway, the round Earthers. The conspiracy is that the round Earthers don't want you to acknowledge the Bible. Therefore, whatever. It's a convoluted thing. So, but now it's evolved into just this. They don't want you to know the truth, and exactly the look on your face says it all. Who is they? Like who benefits?
Why would they? What's the truth? That you might fall off if you travel too far in any direction?
Well, you're not gonna, because there's the ice wall surrounding the flat Earth. That's why whenever anybody goes to the South Pole, they run into ice.
Yeah.
Because that's the ice wall that you're.
What about the other two directions?
It does, because you go, if you follow the ice wall, you're going around the continent down there, but they're saying you're going inside the ice wall.
Oh, in it.
Yeah, because it's like if it was a plate, if we had a round plate. The edge of the whole plate on the outside is one gigantic ice wall. And that's what keeps the water from rolling off the sides. Oh. And then there's a dome over the whole thing.
Right.
And that's and then the sun travels on the inside of that dome in a circular pattern, not.
Okay.
That's why we can't see it. And it's so big. That's why when it's on one side of the flat Earth, you don't see it.
I mean, never
here.
mind the fact that if it truly was flat, you would see it from all angles at all times.
Well, we don't need to.
No.
Yeah.
That's too much science or too math.
Yeah. They've actually gone through and like reverse engineered this thing to make it work on a model.
Someone was so committed to making them make sense.
Yeah. So that one really bugs me, and the fact that in test after test, these guys, they go out and they test their theories. And there was actually one I was just watching on Netflix for this guy. Their theory was get two big planks, and at a equal distance, like say at 18 feet, put a hole, and then put the boards far enough apart to where you're gonna get at least a couple degrees on the supposed round Earth. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what that distance is, but there's a distance where you'll start to see, and they say now we're gonna shine a light through this one, and it's gonna come out on the exact same spot on the other board, thus proving that there's no curvature to the Earth. Well, they did it, and it absolutely worked that there was a curve. Like, they had to lift up the one on the far end to catch the light coming through. But that still wasn't
one of their heads exploded.
Oh
on
yeah,
the
and
spot.
the guy you see, he's just like in real time. They videoed it, and he's sitting there like, well, I'll be. Well, you know what? It probably is. And then he starts talking about like pressure in the atmosphere causing the light to bend. I mean, just all this weird.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you could say that's going to make these people believe. And I don't really even think it has anything to do with, at this point, rejecting the Bible. With them, it's all about, let's make this about me. I'm just trying to get.
It's just for attention at this point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm convinced that most of, in the conspiracy theories, it's almost become a commonplace thing now because everything's a conspiracy theory if you don't believe in it. That's the what's the Alex Jones way of explaining away things. Well, that's a conspiracy theory, so I don't need to give it the time of day of any actual intelligent thought like global warming conspiracy, Democrat conspiracy to control your lives. But what? But why? What's the end game?
That was actually almost a pretty good impression of him.
Was it really?
It was very close.
Don't make me do my Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, folks.
Liberal media coming for your guns. Obamacare.
So, he's a funny one. What conspiracies? What were we talking about?
Flat Earth. And I was curious because I had thought that the whole round Earth thing was established well before that, and like with Da Vinci times in the late 1600s.
Way before that.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah, like the Greeks and the Egyptians and shit knew it was around.
Well, we don't. Yeah, I feel like as a culture, in the last 300 years, we've gotten significantly dumber than we were prior with what we would now refer to in any particular continent as an indigenous species. Like it's indigenous culture, excuse me. It's I've been watching way too much sci-fi with the indigenous species thing, but we look back at like the Mayans and the Incans, and like they created calendars, and then we felt the need to blow it up and redo it because we can't let the people that don't wear all their clothes tell us how to operate.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with the Julian calendar. It kind of works out pretty well.
I'm saying it doesn't, but
same with I think that I don't think we've gotten dumber in the past 300 years as a species. I would argue that it's just that the dumb people now have a voice, have a bigger platform. Because literally, you could pick up that phone and I could
we sit here projecting our voices.
I can literally send a message to the President of the United States right now via Twitter. Okay, it's recording again. There we go. Okay, so here's the deal. I bumped our input, and Audacity, when it stops sensing sound, it just basically stops recording everything and turns it into it nukes the whole thing. So there's going to be a very awkward cut just then.
It kind of just flips out and then says, nope, restart everything.
Yeah, so
we restarted.
So we were talking about
how everyone has a voice. And
and how it's hard to fake. It's hard to fake video now. So now all the crazy has to get dumped into stuff that you have to like explain versus stuff you can see.
Right.
Like, you remember the loose change video?
Nope.
Okay. It came from it's like a website. It was like a Zeitgeist website, and loose change was the global conspiracy, and part of it was that 9/11 was an inside job.
Okay.
And they go through this whole thing, and I remember I worked with this guy down in Georgia, and he's like, you want to know the truth, you watch this video. So we're sitting there watching this video, and my God. Now, it sounds legit, and the person speaking is certainly authoritative when they're talking.
Right.
But they're going through, and they're dissecting piece by piece the day that 9/11, the day it happened, the things that are happening in the world, and how this, and the Pentagon, you never actually see a video with
the insurance policy was taken out. So.
You never actually see an airplane flying in on the video and stuff, and there's no sourcing on it. Like, there's no. It's just it's a random voice of somebody I don't know telling me their theory, and to me that's first off that's bullshit, because there's nobody, there's no authority behind it. Right. I am a structural engineer. I went to MIT. Blah blah blah. This is why I think that building should not have fallen. Now there may be videos like that out there. I don't know, but I've never seen it.
But this loose change, he's like, see right there, that's all the proof you need. Like, no, that's not all the proof I need. Some rando video on YouTube is not proof to me.
Well, and this
Shit that can be edited and shit that can be manipulated.
Right. Well, the internet cached sites as proof as to why the Newtown, Connecticut shooting was planned ahead. That's not how Google cache sites work at all. That was a huge video. And
with the crisis actors,
right?
And all that,
Yeah, and how the little girl's actually still alive in that, and legitimately, and for the record, fuck that guy and all of those people.
And that's just people. They're making it all about me. All about this. So I can get my 15 minutes now and cash in on these tragedies.
And actually, recently, I just read. Maybe it may not have been that particular one, but one of the prominent conspiracy theorists of that were recently just sued and were awarded. They wrote a book and they made a ton of money on it.
I'm pretty sure it was Alex Jones.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. But they wrote this book about it and made a ton of money
Hook.
on the book, and the judge basically took all of the money from the book and gave it to
the
victims.
Alex Jones and Sandy Hook.
Yeah. Sandy Hook, there we go. That's the one. But yeah, it's just... Well, now you got, with the, internet being widely available to almost anyone, especially here in the U.S., it's basically you put these people with a green screen behind them and a fancy-looking desk, and they look like a news broadcaster, and people without critical thought, which how we got to that particular point is an entire another conversation, take that as gospel because this man that's all fired up is behind a desk that looks professional telling me why Obama is a Muslim, and it's just, oh my God.
Well, and clearly he's not. He's a lizard person.
Oh, well, crab people? Is that?
No, lizard.
Oh, okay.
Lizard people are the ones running the show.
Okay, but crab people is a South Park version of that.
No,
look like crab, talk like people. No. Some people know. Hey, someday you'll watch that show. Someday I will get you.
Well, it's not that I don't want to. I just feel like I'm so far behind now that everything is
28-minute episodes,
and a lot of it is so topical. Usually, I just. I've got enough. I've got enough entertainment right now. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, at least go back 2 seasons from this year.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No.
So one that I was curious on, and I had a roommate that was. I have a problem right now, and I relate everything back to the movie Cars because it's just what exists in my house at all times. But there's the hippie van in Cars, where he's just like, "You try the organic fuel, man." But I had a roommate that was that van. He was that guy. The van is him. And he would go on rants. He was a conspiracy theorist, big one, all of the things you just mentioned. But one that he always hit on that I never fully understood, and I was not going to say, tell me more about that, Elliot. Please don't. Was the fluoride in the water thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. Okay, see... I don't get it. I don't know what fluoride does, even though I remember taking fluoride pills as a kid when I was, up until probably 7-8 years old. But the fluoridation of water and all of that, and I was trying to do some Wikipediaing because everything on Wikipedia is true.
The best I can understand it is people believe that by adding fluoride to the water, they're keeping us docile.
Ah, okay. Well,
or that's one version, or the other is that it has something to do with mind control. Those are the two. As best I've never heard anybody really nail down.
Maybe fluoride causes autism. We could just take it away from the vaccines. This is how we get everyone vaccinated.
I can't remember who, but they basically say that that and they're trying to poison us. The fluoride's a poison because if you give a rat 7,000 times the recommended dose of fluoride, it will die.
Yeah.
So therefore,
nothing in moderation.
Yeah.
I always thought it was something about like teeth, like making your teeth thicker.
Well, that's what it's for. It's
okay.
Fluoride is for your teeth. That's why, on the whole, Americans have better teeth than English people because we have fluoride, and it helps strengthen teeth. It helps strengthens bonds and calcium, things like that.
So much has become clear to me right now at this moment. Okay, we're learning, folks.
So, but the nut bags would have you believe, and I think Dave over at the radio station, I think he thinks the fluoride is bad.
Of course,
he's got lots of
theft.
Taxation theft, and he's also a big. He doesn't believe we went to the moon.
I told you about a few remotes. I sold a series of remote broadcasts.
For
Dave, specifically for Dave, to a gun and pawn shop.
Oh Jesus! The UFO one out on. They had the UFOs.
I don't know about UFOs, but they were specifically doomers.
Oh, you're talking about the one in Faroco,
up in
right?
Faroco
Yeah,
over
okay.
there.
Yeah,
And oh my god, I mean, they're great people, and I loved hanging out there, and they always had some unique stuff.
I'll bet he had a blast talking to them.
Oh my god, it was. I've never seen Scrady have to like keep him on track so much in my life. Like, Dave, what's going on again? Where he's just talking about why. Opining at length about the benefits of gold bullion and why you
Jesus
need to
Christ.
have coin, and when the apocalypse happens, that's going to be the currency. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
we all know that bottle caps will be the future of future
I think the
currency.
currency is going to be like cans of beans and stuff. You know, things
Water.
to keep us alive.
Right.
You should read a book called Farnham's Freehold. It's by Robert Heinlein, and I can't believe Dave's never read this book. He may have at this point, but he's we talked about it quite a bit. But Farnham's Freehold is Robert Heinlein's the guy that wrote like Starship Troopers and Brave New World, Stranger in a Strange Land. Classic. He's like one of the pillar godfathers of sci-fi, and Farnham's Freehold is about the end of the world. And this guy, his last name is Farnham, and it's like the libertarians' Bible. Part of the book is the
Not
other
Ayn
part.
Rand?
The other part takes place in outer space, and the hair removal and stuff like. It's really weird, but. In Farnham's Freehold, he starts his own after the apocalypse. He starts his own kind of freehold. Like, this is where you come. And the sign outside of his door is, if you approach with your hands up. Don't have any weapons on you. Whatever. Books are currency. So if you come, bring books. We'll trade goods and services for books and vice versa.
Okay.
So, I believe that in the coming apocalypse, excuse me, things like water. To me, water is going to be a lot more important than gold bullion.
Right.
That's just me though.
The ability to refine oil into gas. Because I'm just assuming that it's going to be real hard to develop additional like solar panels when society collapses.
Well, I think the problem's
Maybe.
not going to be that. It's going to be it'll be like Mad Max style, where wherever whatever's left is what we have.
Yes.
There's not going to be any
gigantic PV speakers.
You're not
on
gonna-
trucks.
You're not going to be you're refining gas in your backyard. You're going to be using up what you have and then learn how to fix a fucking bicycle.
Ride a horse.
That's what they never in all these post-apocalyptic things. You don't see anybody riding bikes.
you were ranting about that the other day, and I watched The Walking Dead pretty religiously.
Uh-huh.
Like it hits.
They ride bikes in that show.
Not bicycles, but they do have horses, and they turn cars into carriages for horses.
Oh,
like,
sure.
It's kind of like got like a red green feel to it. Honestly,
Uh-huh.
like you chop the top off and you make
Yeah.
a cigarette car out of the Greyhound bus. But it's
Uh-huh.
they got horses pulling vans with the fronts chopped off
Yeah.
of them, and it's just basically pulling a chassis. But
Yeah.
so it's gotten a little bit better. There's still plenty of vehicles and trucks
Yeah.
and stuff, but that's the Texas-based one. So
I think
Naturally.
like the only decent argument I heard against using bicycles in the apocalypse, and these are all zombie-based apocalypse.
Of course.
Apocalypse. I don't know. It's a
Apocalyptica?
Greek word, so apocalypses. I don't know. Anyway, in these scenarios, is that unless you have it perfectly tuned, it can make noise, and that would alert the zombies. Whereas I
Yeah,
don't know
you definitely
what a
don't
fucking
want-
truck would do. If you got a
At least a truck you can run them over.
yeah.
Definitely don't get the ones with the baseball card and the spikes.
No, but I think that if there was a, let's just say, a non-zombie apocalypse where the 3/4 of the world gets wiped out by some disease.
Right.
Like say, the super plague comes and kills
Yes.
everybody. Then bicycle. Let's turn to the bicycle as our mode of transportation, because eventually we're going to run out of gas.
Yes.
There's going to be rich dudes in a super bunker somewhere where they're going to be waiting, to come out and rule the world
their
again.
own civilization.
Yeah, orgies and shit down underground.
Yeah.
But for the meantime, the rest of us will be up here. I think riding bicycles is the key.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna try not to nerd out too hard, so I'll just say yes and
Yeah.
move on. You basically just described the basis for Fallout.
Oh, really?
all the people that could afford to be part of Vault-Tec were in the vaults, and they were down there for 200
Oh,
years,
I see.
procreating, and then they came out occasionally. But all the people that didn't get to go in the vaults turned into irradiated raiders and
Sure.
super mutants and all that kinds of stuff.
Huh.
God, they need to make Fallout 6 soon. 5.
I think about that sometimes because because those guys, hopefully I'm not around. I hope I go in the first wave. Whatever happens, whatever
I'd like to
comes
hang
to.
out for a
I don't
little
want
bit.
to. You want to scrape and scratch and go.
There's something for me, not the scraping and scratching like every moment of every day. I don't think it's necessarily going to be that bad. Maybe it will. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I will die because I think that. But there's something to be said for me thinking about it, because I have a dormant boomer that I keep locked in a closet under the stairs in my.
You want to prevail
imagination.
against the odds, and
Not so much that, but something to be said for living for the immediate needs instead of all of this just
that sounds
effectively useless junk that we
that sounds like my life right now. Living.
Well,
How are we gonna make supper tonight? Shit.
get some
Rice
hot
again.
dogs and ramen noodles,
Yeah.
chop them up and throw them down. No, but I don't know. I'm fantasizing about a survival
see, and
system
that's
that
just
I
it.
would have no skills to.
And that's just
compete
it.
in,
The
so-
fantasy is great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna Swiss Family Robinson this bitch. I'll get my family up in a tree.
That shit would collapse.
Watching videos of these guys building huts and stuff in the woods. I could do that. That looks great until you're up against it. I'm still sick. I'm getting over like a 3-month sickness, and I
You
finally.
didn't have antibiotics.
If I didn't, I would be dead. So that's imagine that, but all the time,
nonstop.
Accidentally drink some water that has some sort of weird bacteria in it. Boom,
I don't know.
everyone's
I
dead.
see. I like to believe that I can drink any water and not get sick.
You can't even eat a taco without shitting your guts out.
Well,
you're gonna die.
that's true.
You're gonna
But-
die in the apocalypse.
I mean, I haven't been overseas recently, but there was a time when I did the Portwater challenge on a cruise ship and was fine the whole time. Cozumel was a scary one. I was like, ooh, this one might not be, but hey, I made it. So.
Well, and I think that might just be because water globally is not as bad as everyone leads you to believe.
And that's where I was going. I got to Belize the first time, and they're like, don't drink any of the water. And I'm like, I'll have a pina colada, please and thank you. And everybody's just like wide-eyed staring at me, a bunch of 19-year-olds in a country that allows them to drink. All drank in moderation, for the record.
Sure.
No one in excess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was fine. Could have been my 19-year-old body and my late 20s body, which now probably I think I'm over that hill. You were talking about doomers and that. I was trying to look up some info on. I'm in my Amazon. I've had in my wanted list for a while, and I just haven't pulled the trigger on getting them. Books by James Howard Kunstler, who, when he's blogging on the internet, goes by the name of Tyler Durden.
Oh yeah.
And he's not super crazy, but like leading up to Trump being elected, every day it was opining about how Hillary was going to go to jail and this was the end, and things were going to get really bad and we're coming to the next housing crisis. Well, here we are 3.5 years later and we're still holding on, but it could still be on the horizon. He's definitely toned it down more in his newsletters, but
Well,
it's entertaining.
the what did I watch? I watched a documentary on it wasn't preppers or anything, but it was like weird spaces or something, like different forms of housing. And this person went out to, I believe it was either South Dakota or North Dakota, and some guy is buying up old nuclear silos, and he's converting them into doomsday arcs, basically. But it's like he's sinking all this money into it. Excuse me, I'm trying not to sniff so much into the microphone. I'm sure people listening are, oh God, stop. But it is what it is.
You sniff, I'll chew.
So, but he buys all these bunkers, basically, and then spares no expense, like builds these nice, really kind of almost luxury condos underground. But and each one can hold up to, I can't remember, we'll just say 40 people, 20 couples,
Sure.
we'll say. And no matter what that number is, the whole idea is that they're going to be living underground for a generation, basically. That's the whole idea, is it's got enough resources packed away to not a generation, but a long time. So
long enough to cover a basic clear winter.
Everybody has there's a big communal table. There's everybody has their own bathroom facilities. I guess it's all like composting toilets and stuff. But you're basically going to be in this arc, this tube, with other families, and in this country where we can't even stand to sit next to somebody in a restaurant.
Kill everyone.
Yeah, that's just So what's in place for when someone snaps? Goes
I'm
buggy.
sure there's no like weapons or anything allowed, and it's funny because this is legitimately, we joke about it, but rich people do this shit.
Yeah.
Like when they've just got beyond fuck it money, they're like, you watch Billions. I don't know if you've gotten the most recent season yet, but Axe buys Wags for his birthday, or vice versa. I think it's the other way around. Anyway, he buys him for his birthday a seat in one of these types of bunkers,
sure.
these luxury bunkers, and it's like, when it hits, this
Yeah.
is yours, buddy. And it's like, thanks, this is the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. It's like, what?
That would be a great movie, I think, like a horror comedy, maybe.
Oh, can we get Jordan Peele to do this?
I could write it. That'd be fun.
We pitch it to Jordan Peele,
Yeah.
and direct.
But for real, I mean, because like people are gonna start going crazy
Yeah,
in these things.
I mean, if you don't have like sensory rooms,
Mm-hmm.
Projectors and stuff, but even that is just, it's obviously not real. Like your grass waving on the wall is not making me feel like I'm outside getting UV light.
Well, that's what I was going to suggest is instead of this, where we're all hunkered down underground and you're forced to, because I mean, no offense, but even if I had to be stuck in a room with you for a year, one of us is not coming
I
out.
had to be stuck in a room with me for a year. I'm just
that's just the way people are. I like being able to go home at the end of the day, and it's like,
well,
okay,
you have your own little room in the bunker arc thing.
Well, but what I would do is I would do it almost like Matrix style. We're not batteries, but you just get plugged into a suspended animation, and then the robots. You're gonna have one of those Boston Dynamic robots is gonna be tending the room, to come and make sure you don't atrophy. You're plugged in,
right?
And you have some sort of
just get this
some theta wave going in your brain to keep it moving and stuff, and
right.
then the robot comes and moves your arms, cleans the shit pipe because you're gonna have that, and then when it's clear outside, then they start waking you up.
And in all seriousness, talking about those confined spaces and people losing their minds, to pivot a little bit here, but I love watching more scientific-based space travel and futuristic movies. We were talking about this the other day, but like people think it's like propulsion and technology and things that we have that are our biggest hurdles towards not interstellar, but deeper space travel and going to Mars and that is a big hurdle. We can science that eventually. The biggest hurdle, and the hurdle that will always be there, is can the human mind sustain that length of travel, and B, if they're trying to set up a colony on Mars, being underground, not seeing the sun, that type of thing. And that's I know they do like stuff up in Alaska and that, where they put these people in a freaking bubble for however many months, and just to see what happens. Like, you're going to be a guinea pig.
Well, eventually, I think they'll have something nailed down with that. Virtual reality. I mean, they're making strides already in that in that field. So, by the time it becomes a real thing, hopefully they'll have stuff like holodeck technology and like Star Trek.
I wish I could be around to see that, but at the same time, if you were, then it wouldn't be exciting. Like, I think of how we think of, I just have this laptop sitting in front of me that has all of the world's collective knowledge in front of me, where 30 years ago, people have been like, that's futuristic, man, that'd be so cool, I wish I could see that. Well, that's really not. It's just the end of the civilization as we know it.
Yeah.
I lost my conspiracy theory page. There was another one. Oh, chemtrails. We can touch on that one. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, that one
Because it's simple, I think, is generally.
Yeah, and again, is that mind control? Are they poisoning us? What are they doing?
That's more of a docile one. That's the one that's focused on. That's
Keeping
another.
us-
The Mr. Elliott would always rant about is you see them and there's no scheduled launches today, man. Why is that rocket up there? Why does it have a cloud so long behind it? And they're chemtrailing us.
Rocket
They're,
or plane?
stop trying to make sense of
Okay.
conspiracy theory. You're over
Yeah.
analyzing it. But you look up and you sometimes you see the
The plane. I know what a
Yeah.
contrail is. It's
Okay,
yeah,
thank
it's a but it'd be on a plane.
right, whatever.
Yeah.
Rocket, plane,
Oh,
ship,
okay.
boat. You know where I'm going with it, but it's that's what it is. You're keeping them docile.
Oh, see,
keeping them from rising up. Against
I misunderstood you. I thought you were
oppressors.
saying his conspiracy theory that they were doing chemtrails off of rockets.
Maybe they are.
Yeah, no,
They're
it's
just
it's
letting
the
it drop
airplanes.
into the
It's,
atmosphere.
all that is the difference in pressure across the wings, and then the condensing on the heat in the engines causes those.
That's what the
contrails.
government wants you to believe, man.
Yeah,
it's all lies.
no, those people are fucking
We were
stupid.
never on the moon.
They're fucking
Stanley
stupid.
Kubrick did that.
Yeah, the conspiracy. The I do like the wacky ones though. Like the lizard people.
They're the best. Look like
Illuminati,
lizard, talk like
Illuminati
people.
stuff. That people that don't have any control over their lives, they start coming up with these weird conspiracies, like the Illuminati or the,
I'm convinced no one on Earth had an anagram tattoo until after Angels and Demons.
oh,
All of a sudden, people are like, "Oh my God, it says it the same way both ways."
yeah. The one that I love is the deep state. The deep state conspiracy that there's some
'Cause
cabal
that's another
of.
one that's like it's so ridiculous it's almost believable.
Well,
like the CIA.
Let me
secretly controlling our
qualify
government.
that. I don't believe there's a deep state in the way the wackadoos think there is.
Well, right.
There is a deep state in by their definition, and it's called United States Congress.
Yes.
Think about
The
it.
0.01%.
The longest a president could serve is 8 years, as of now. Knock on wood. But then you have like senators who've been in there for 40 years,
Right.
and that's only like a senate a Senate term is 6 years. So say a guy has 4 terms, gets elected 4 times. That's 24 years. That's an entire lifetime of somebody that gets born and then can legally drink, and they've had the same senator as their senator the whole
Absolutely.
time.
I've never known anyone other than Ron Kind as our congressman in
Yeah.
this area. That's insane.
And so these are the people that really have the power. Excuse me. By the Constitution, whatever, the Congress is listed first, whatever. Excuse me. They are a check and balance, this and that, but it's the same people
Right. And
all that time. And this system was set up back when the life expectancy was what, 50?
well, I mean, you'd think it actually would. The term would go up as we've gotten the ability to live older.
I think the term should stay as it is with a limit of twice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you can't become a lobbyist. Then you go back to where you are from, as was designed.
Right, but
federal service was designed to go. You're serving where you're from,
Right.
and then you go back to your home.
And even then, I mean, fine, take your golden parachute and your knowledge of working in the government, fall into some executive position in private industry, but stay the fuck out of politics with you and all your goddamn money. I just saw a meme today that was Mitch McConnell, El Turtel, has exponentially grown in value, or what would we call it for people? I don't have money, so I don't know. Worth,
Yeah.
excuse me, net worth. What would be the value of his turtle
Yeah.
shell? But he's grown in worth 10 times
Yeah.
when he started in the Senate, 2005, and I think he's been in there longer. But just from 2005, it was like he
Wow.
was worth like $2.5 million, and now he's like worth $25 million.
Well, his wife is really rich too. Of course, that's all. Whatever.
That's a whole nother.
Anyway, back to. I don't want to get into politics. That's a good conspiracy.
So
But anyway, I was saying but the deep state is one that always gets me, is because what people think is the deep state is not what the deep state is, but they don't want to recognize that there is one, and it's all these people that are
running the intelligence services, the people that are in the Congress that have been there forever, and but they believe it's everybody else except your guy.
Right.
So all these other guys, term limits, but my guy's been good. He could say so. That's why we're all fucked. This will never change.
Donald Trump's the first person to ever try and work with a foreign entity for his own political gain. Let me tell you. No, he's the first person dumb enough to do it on an insecure line.
Well, anyway, I shouldn't have brought it up.
It's okay.
But Anyway,
we were talking about Doomers, and I wanted to make a note that apparently Bear Grylls is making a comeback.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got this show because you know how Netflix started doing this like choose your own adventure on Netflix thing. They've got one of those for his thing where it's like you can either tell him to rappel down with spikes or use his water bottle as the only thing that holds him up as he rappels down.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
My 6-year-old loves it. It's weird. She found it and has started watching it. But he's also doing one now with celebrities.
Yeah,
where he's taking celebrities out.
He's done those. He took Barack Obama out on one.
Did he really?
Yeah, in Man vs. Wild.
I don't know why I feel like Barack Obama would have actually shown him a thing or two. It's just maybe it's just.
I mean, they didn't do. They weren't like skydiving or rappelling down any cliffs or anything. But yeah, he took Barack Obama. He took Will Ferrell.
Okay, I need to find.
Yeah.
This.
And that was years ago.
The one, I think I want to say it was like Snoop Dogg or something. In the
that would be hilarious.
Snoop, nah, dog, just chill for a minute. We've got to get off this glacier. No, dog. He's in like a giant full length to the ground fur coat,
drinking his own pee,
letting it ferment for a little bit. That new chronic.
So anyway, what we were on conspiracies.
We are all over the place today. Cannot keep track.
Well, I'm trying to keep it. See, you're the one that wants to do show prep.
Well, but my show prep involves having a topic and then letting it take me wherever my ADD brain takes me.
Well, the last conspiracy that I was thinking of that I think is hilarious is the ancient aliens. And watching those Action Bronson Ancient Aliens, because it has nothing really that show on YouTube doesn't have anything to do with the Ancient Aliens so much as what's going on in the show. They're just getting baked and watching the show. It's just so funny, but I love how people see what they want to see in the Ancient Alien, I guess, universe.
Right.
If there's only one thing this could mean. Like, well, no.
That's it.
There's a guy in a rocket and it was in an Incan burial chamber. That's what it is, man. Well, you don't know that. No. You're looking at it through a modern lens. And I just think those guys are hilarious. But they're making money doing it too, which is why I'm thinking
let's just not brush our hair for 3 days and then go on TV.
That Giorgio guy, the aliens. Yeah, he's fucking funny.
Yeah.
So, but like thinking about lacrosse specifically, let's think of a conspiracy theory.
Oh, conspiracy theories in lacrosse. Okay. I mean, it's got to involve Ron Kind, right? I mean, he basically.
I don't know if it has to, but if there is one,
the only logical conclusion is that it's Ron Kind.
What?
I don't know. We haven't decided what it is.
No,
yet.
We're not gonna start with a conclusion.
Okay, we have to build it from the ground up. Well, I mean, in lacrosse, you've got the deep state that could be the Weber family and I'm blanking on the owner of Quick Trip.
Okay, let me qualify this.
Yes.
I don't want to piss off any of these people, so we're not going to name family names.
They know we mean it in jest, don't they? All right,
I hope so. I don't need Don Zitlow coming over here and
that's
slicing my throat or sending one of his people over.
Right. We still got to meet with hopefully Dave here in a week or two.
I'm thinking I think that the festivals is a conspircy.
Like
Oktoberfest, Riverfest.
Not the grocery stores. Okay.
No, all the fests we have in town here.
Okay, I can add to this.
So they all have like a royalty system.
They do.
Why do we need that? Here's what it is.
Pageantry.
No, it's not pageantry.
Okay.
What it is it's them
Yes.
whoever them is,
They.
the
royal
overlord, the overlords, are getting us ready to fall in line with a monarchy type system in the area.
And that's why generally it's always people of either prominent positions or wealth
Wealthy
that are
people.
in these spots.
Yeah.
See, I always thought Oktoberfest was onto something when they always had lawyers, judges, doctors, lots of more lawyers in these positions.
So what do? We all get drunk and we watch them parade around in their fine clothes. Generally between it's a Riverfest, Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Does Irish Fest have like a court?
They do. They
do
have
a court.
the Irish Man and the Irish Rose.
Oh yeah. So that's just getting us all ready. They come and they grace us with their presence when they come with their whole court. They walk through and they generally it's a big pageant when they come through and
well they have their princess, their queen.
And it's what it is they're getting us used to fealty. Bend a knee. Here comes the bend a knee. Here comes the lords and the ladies of the manor.
It could be.
That's what it is. That's the one.
Wow, we might need to talk to. I think Riverfest might be behind on this one because they've never been attached to the Miss America organization in any way, like a lot of these other ones are, or at least they have their own thing that doesn't do anything other than whoever the small town Butterfest queen is.
Sure.
But they've never been attached to anything like that. However, they've gone a different route where they're more of like community builders are the ones that are their pageantry, their royal family members, like the Weezers.
Sure.
In those Brennan. So that they've between the two they've definitely got the market monopolized. But this could go somewhere.
Yeah, and then we have the parades, and
And that's why beer was created, wasn't it? It was to keep the peasants docile. And what are all these fests revolve around? Beer, tents.
Well, that may be the beer was originally created to preserve grain and water, but
No.
back in Egypt, way back in ancient Egypt. So that one I won't
Belgians
I won't
to
get on
keep
board
the
with that,
peasants.
but I will get on board with them utilizing it as a tool.
Yeah. See?
Because it's always cheap.
We put on a big, whoever the country singer man person is, put them up there and let them sing and entertain.
Yeah, it's
everyone.
entertaining the masses, and then blah blah blah. Then next thing you know, so then the bigger these things come. I mean, these things are growing by leaps and bounds. Pretty soon, it'll just be hey, let's have Oktoberfest year round. And you know what? He's the fest master. Let's just make him in charge of everything. And then next thing you know, we're all running around in lederhosen all the time, singing Ein Prosit and fucking eating bratwurst. Now that doesn't sound like a bad life. If I'm honest.
I mean, it could be. I could think of worse things.
Just as long as it doesn't require me, giving up, my share of grain or,
That's taxes, though.
Well, we already do that.
Taxation is theft.
I don't want them taking my grain.
Grain.
So
They could give me. You get your allotted amount of seeds to grow your food each year, and the rest must be.
I wish Dave Carney would still talk to me because that would be a good. He would love that.
I mean, can we for the records, so everyone knows, what are we at? 180 people know that why Dave Carney doesn't talk to you. It's not that you pissed Dave Carney off.
Oh yeah, no, it's just because I think he was mandated. Everybody that works there was mandated. They can't.
The
talk
royal
to us.
mandate.
Yep.
Oh boy, we're already starting off on the wrong foot with this new system.
Yeah, but I think maybe another good conspiracy in lacrosse is the rising water every year at the river. It's been getting worse and worse. And I think it doesn't have anything to do with actual flooding. I think that's controlled at the lock and dam just up the river. What they do is they control it. They control the rising of the water so they can do stuff down on the riverside with nobody watching. And I don't know what that is yet, but I'm going to find out.
So they're doing stuff like north of us.
Yeah, just right up there by I-90, there's that lock and dam.
Yeah, that's 5A.
They stop it, and that's how they control the water level here.
Yeah.
so they can do stuff along the river. Maybe they're down there. There's like precious minerals on the
Yeah.
on the riverbank that they're harvesting.
Okay.
That's only in the springtime, of course. That's
Right.
the best time to get it.
You talk about the one in Trempealeau?
Okay. When you cross the I-90 bridge into Minnesota,
There's the one right there.
right there.
Oh, that's 6. My bad. The one in Trempealeau.
doesn't matter. The one-
says 5B.
You're just blowing this up, dude.
You gotta call them by their proper names. Dams have
I'm
names.
gonna edit all of this out, all of your bullshit.
Be showing off my useless dam name knowledge. Damn.
All right. You completely derailed my train of thought.
Your
so we'll
train of
move
thought
on.
is talking about them getting the mussels, putting the zebras, their mussels in the water.
I don't know what they are. Anyway, that was my other conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Your royal family thing has more legs. I mean, it's established. We've got 61, 71, 81, 91, 2001. We're almost at 50 years here pretty soon.
Can't believe you derailed my. I was on a roll too, with the raising of the water.
I mean, I can wait.
No,
It's back.
it's
It's gone.
gone now.
You're just thinking of it on the fly, and now it's gone. Well, I could run with the royal family thing. That I mean, there's all kinds of different ways. Because I mean, we've got every facet of government already in it.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
then, like I said, the labor aspect.
Yeah, and then I don't know, the cops are somehow involved.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet, but I mean, they're there.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else?
No, you just can't even. You just rage quit, ruined my zebra mussel water level.
It didn't have anything to do with
conspiracy
zebra
theory.
mussels. It was.
You said mussels. The word mussels came out of your
I
mouth.
said minerals. It could have been some sort of. I said, who knows if it could be some sort of mineral or resource that they're
Maybe
going
the
after.
Mississippi mud is not as bad as we think it is.
Could be.
Only when
We'll
we're
never
figuring
know
it
now,
out.
though.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, roll the music. For Christ's sake.
I was talking to my friend Nate, who lives out in Bangor. I graduated with. He said he's maybe has some interest in coming in sometime. He's fun. He's a fun guy. I think I told you about him. He's
Nate from Banger.
he's a blacksmith hobbyist, and he does a lot of work out at Norskadalen.
Okay.
So he's a big Norwegian dude. He looks like a Viking now.
I would like for him to bring us a custom crafted ceremonial dagger.
He also works at I think he's a pipe fitter or a boiler maker, something over at the brewery. So I bet he's got some good stories. He's got some interest to do it. I put some feelers out for some other potential guests.
Yeah. For some reason, most of my people, so to speak, they're kind of like, oh, yeah, I mean, that'd be fun, maybe someday. And they run away quickly and stop engaging with me. So,
Well, when people say that to me, I'm like, okay, well, let's set a date. get in
Oh,
here
is
and do
that
it.
Sales 101.
Yeah.
Don't let them away without setting the next appointment.
Yeah.
God, I'm failing.
So, yeah, so I got him, and then I got to go get across the street, talk to my neighbor, Jim. He would be fun to talk to. Archaeology
Yes.
and South America, stuff like that. He's
Not
super,
dinosaurs.
not dinosaurs.
Yes.
But yeah, and then I got some feelers out in Viroqua. I think we got some interesting people in Viroqua. And then next week, Jamie Eklob's coming in to do one with us.
Yes. We can talk about money, where I can listen about money.
Yeah, I
Clearly,
mean,
I'm so
I've
good
got
with it.
nothing. I got nothing there either.
No, I'm guessing he probably doesn't want to talk about work if he's coming to do something like this.
Yeah, well, he's currently in the Guard right now, and he's a warrant officer. He's getting ready to retire from that.
Okay.
So I imagine we'll have some fun military stories to
I was
share.
gonna say you could trade war stories, and I'll just grunt and laugh into my microphone.
I should tell him that's when I'll tell my favorite Navy story of all time.
Yes.
He'll get a kick out of that.
That is
Jamie's an awesome guy. And then Thursday next week, Gino Francis is going to do one with us.
Gino.
Yeah,
We've got some conspiracy theories about Gino.
yeah.
How he is such a good salesperson.
It involves the pinky ring.
Pay no attention to what is in the trunk of my car.
Yeah. So yeah. Next week we're gonna have a couple good guests, and then I have a piglet mini cast that I've got just about ready to roll too. So that should be fun.
All right.
So all right, well, until next time,
I guess
we got the music rolling,
we do.
and 20 days till Christmas.
20 yes, 20 days until
It's the
the Greek Christmas Santa person.
Till Santa Greg
Yes.
comes to St. Nicholas.
Yeah, I'm out of control. Can we let the music save me, please?
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, have a great rest of your week. Be kind to one another and enjoy your festivities as we close to Christmas.
Peace